Hi guys, Kel Kellogg here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna show you something I've been wanting to show you guys out there in YouTube land for a long time. Lucy and I were out scouting today. We've been doing some trolling, but I want to anchor up. I want to fish some bait, take a little break, have some lunch, and do a little bit of paperwork. So I need to be anchored, very securely. So I'm gonna double anchor the boat. Wes and I, we've been double anchoring the pontoon boat all winter long because at times we've been fishing a lot of power bait, and we had some trial and error in getting the boat to anchor up, and be pretty steady. There's definitely some rules of the road. So I'm gonna double anchor the boat up here, and I'm gonna kind of walk you through the process. So if you want to go out, you want to double anchor your boat, you want to fish some bait, you just want to chill, whatever, and you don't want to worry about your boat constantly swinging or floating away, follow along, and this is going to put you way ahead of the game when you try it for the first time. Okay, I'm easing up into a cove here, nice secluded spot. This is where I want to set up. I'm going to shoot some video and stuff. I don't want anybody bothering us. I'm trying to get out of the wind. There's a little breeze today. So I'm using the main motor to kind of line me up where I want to be. There's a smaller cove, a secondary cove to my left here, over there, and I'm going to kind of nose up in there. But the holding anchor is the anchor off the rear of the boat. So once I get the rear of the boat where I want it to be, and I'm in neutral now, I can either just leave the rear motor in neutral or turn it off altogether. You can do this with the rear motor, but in this case, because I don't want to get the rope tangled in it, I'm going to use the Minn Kota. So the rear of the boat's just about almost where I want to be. I'm just kind of gliding here. So I'm kind of coming around, kind of picking my spot. I want to drop the rear anchor in the deeper water, and then I'm going to use the Minn Kota to pull me up into shallower water until the rear rope is taut and I'm set. So here we go. I am going to drop the rear anchor now, and we'll get the line out in the water. The water here is 22 feet deep. Okay, so the first thing you need if you're going to double anchor is two anchors. That is our anchor up in the bow of the boat right there. And back here is my rear anchor. And you'll notice that we have the rope and anchors in milk crates. That system works absolutely wonderfully. Just make sure you get the boat in there nice and straight, or the rope rather in there nice and straight when you put the rope back into the milk crate, and you won't have any problems when you get ready to drop the anchor. So here we go. Just a simple grapple style anchor with a little bit of chain on it. Get that down there. Just heard a turkey gobble. That was cool. So I've dropped the anchor. Now I'm using, let me get the camera going up that way. I'm using the trolling motor to pull me up into this secondary cove. Once I get all this line out, I'm going to drop my bow anchor, and then I'm going to pull myself tight between the two anchors. So out goes that rear rope, and I try to lay it out nice and straight. And I really like to use the Minn Kota for this because I want to put all that rope out. I got about 75 feet of rope there, thinking, and I let it all out, and then I let it catch, and I can watch the bank, and I know when I've caught. I can also look at my sonar unit and see when forward progress ends. So there is, okay, there is the rear anchor rope is out right there. The trolling motor is still turning, still going. And I'm looking at the speed on the sonar unit, and I am still moving forward just a hair. Oh, right there it caught. See, my speed just went down to almost nothing. So now I'm going to run up to the front of the boat, and I'm going to toss out that front anchor. Now that Minn Kota is still running. And I'm looking at the rear rope, and I'm going to use it to steer, so that rear rope is coming off just nice and straight off the back of the boat, about right there. There, I'm going to kill the motor. I'm going to toss this anchor out. just a little ways. You don't have to toss it a mile, but toss it out there. Then throw out a little bit of slack. And I'm just going to take it. I'm going to double the rope around the rail here and just do a double overhand granny style knot, just like that. Now here's the critical part of getting steady. I'm going to go in the back and I'm going to retrieve rope and pull me tight between the two anchors. So there's that rear anchor line. You can see it's just kind of floating in the water there. I'm going to slowly retrieve line. I'm going to slowly retrieve line until I'm tight between both anchors. And then, once I'm tight between both anchors, I'm going to tie the rope to a cleat right outside on the rail. Now, during this process, it's important that you just pull the rope, just pull it slowly tight. That's important. And I like to keep a lower angle on the rope. So here it comes, and I'm just slowly retrieving line, just like that. My front anchor is tight, so I can just reach down here. I'm just going to reach down here, and I'm going to hook it on the cleat, just like that. Now I can pull a little bit. Just pull a little bit until it's nice and tight. The boat's turning just a little bit, so there we go. Just like so. Hitch it off like that. Done and done. Okay, despite the breeze, we're sitting nice and steady here. We are double anchored. Both ropes are tight. You are going to swing just a little bit because you have, some space between the two anchors, and the boat can go like that a little bit. But for practical purposes, we are sitting nice and steady. We're not going anywhere. There are some keys to double anchoring that I'll just kind of toss out to you. If you want to, anchor parallel to a shoreline that's pretty steep, it's not going to work very well because the anchors want to kind of roll downhill as the boat twists, and I haven't been able to get a secure anchorage in that position. It's better if the bottom is coming up when you drop that rear anchor. I dropped it out there in 20 plus feet of water. The rear of the boat right now is setting in 14 feet of water. So you want to drop that rear anchor, in a position where the bottom is coming up. And I like to let all my rear anchor rope out until it's nice and tight. And then, toss that front anchor. Don't hurt yourself. Toss it out as far from the bow as you can. And then, I probably throw out 15 or 20 feet of slack. Here I'm fairly deep for double anchoring with the amount of rope I have. What we found is the shallower the water, the easier it is to get the boat steady. But we consistently get steady enough, stable enough now to fish multiple rods with power bait without a problem. So if you want to, go out, fish some power bait out of your boat, maybe you want to anchor up and bass fish, maybe you just want to anchor up and chill and read a book, whatever, that's a pretty simple way to do it. That'll get you started down the path, and you'll learn the finer points yourself. The more rope you have, the better. I mean, if I was going to re-rig this, I would probably go with 100 feet of rope bow, 100 feet of rope aft. And at times, like right now, my rear rope has gotten a little bit loose. You will take that opportunity to go back there and tighten up that rear rope a little bit. So that's double anchoring in a nutshell. It took Wes and I a while to figure this system out, but that's how we do it with the big old 20-foot FHS pontoon boat. I'm Kel Kellogg. I'm signing off for now. If you're looking for fishing gear, you know where to go. FishHuntShoot.com. I'm going to jump and have me some sardines and crackers because sardines are one of Lucy's favorite snacks. I'm Kel Kellogg.